What's up, beer drinkers, and welcome to Cold Brew Podcast. Coming at you in the 24. Oh man, I had a great time last weekend over at the Copper State Beer Festival. I talked to some new people, talked to some of my old peeps, and it was a great time. I really wanted to get one of the beer babes on, sit down and record, but man, they were so busy volunteering, pouring drinks for everyone and promoting their brand, and they didn't get any time off. So unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I did meet a lot of cool people from outside of the state, including a good friend of the show, Amanda Bear Lecter. She came down from Oklahoma, so I got to meet her and hung out with her for a little while. And of course, Rachel Bierkowski. She lives in Arizona, so she's always on the show. Well, she used to be always on the show. We've just been super busy. We haven't been able to schedule anything, but hopefully a couple times this year. Then of course, Roxy Liquid Dream came down from Canada, and they both of those ladies started the Beer Babes. And I met some new friends, some of the other Beer Babe family. And you would recognize them from their Instagram handles, but Can I Get a Flight? Florida Girl, Living's Easy. Good friend of the show, a good friend of mine anyway, Ranushka, and all of how could I forget Celtic Aphrodite, AZ Holly D, Craft Beer Tabs, and so many more. So I had such a great time hanging out with everyone. And maybe in November, when they have another event over at Greenwood Brewing in downtown Phoenix, I'll be able to get some of them on the show and talk about beer with them, because they're lovely ladies and some good people, and they love their fucking beer, man. But anyway, I met a home brewer from the Arizona Society of Homebrewers, Ash. Chuck from Ash, got to talk with him. Then I got to talk to Chris from Hoppy Craftsman Podcast. Talked with Eddie plenty of times, hung out with Eddie. First time I got to really sit down and talk with Chris for a while, so that was great. And then also Big Sexy Mike from Simple Machine Grand. And then also three first timers on the show. Three people who just they saw my booth and came down and said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I told them, and they said, "Can I record some?" I'm like, "Sure." Hit the record button. So I talked to them. I talked to Alexis and Jeremiah, and last but definitely not least is Joey, or the Chicago Cubs fan. He was great, man. I like talking to him. We talk about sports. So if you don't like sports, well, mostly baseball, then you might not like our conversation. But Joey was cool. Really enjoyed meeting those three, because that's what the beer community is all about, right? Going out there, drinking beer, meeting people, having fun. It's a really big sense of community, and I think Jeremiah summed it up very well. Anyway, so before we get to the show, just like to thank everyone for downloading Cold Brew Podcast. I forgot the name of my own show. Don't forget to follow us on Untapped and Instagram. Search Cold Brew Podcast and friend us, and we'll friend you back. So here is some of my adventures, some of my conversations that I had at the Copper State Beer Festival 2024. All right, so yeah, just get right there, get comfy.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to get right into it.
Yeah, pretty much. These mics actually pick up pretty well.
Okay.
In fact, I just bought these guys, these two little ones right here.
Okay.
And this is my old one. Then I bought this. This is the nice one right here.
All right.
But you just build, and I'm sure like with homebrewing, you probably just build little by little, right?
You keep switching out equipment all the time. It's like right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've gone through so many iterations. I had a 10-gallon brew set up that I made my own kind of cart and all that kind of stuff, and had a water filter and all this stuff when I was in California. And
yeah.
Then I moved out here and sort of downsized, and now I've got an all-in-one. so you kind of like buy all this stuff,
yeah,
and then you sell it,
yeah,
and then you buy more. because you kind of go, okay, it's always like something you want to kind of keep trying.
Yeah.
So.
Is it like one of those things where like you're really into it and passionate about it, then all of a sudden, after a while you just kind of lose interest and then you get back into it again?
Some do.
Yeah.
Some guys do. I've always been kind of interested in it, though. I mean,
okay.
I've been brewing since '92. I think it's my first batch I had was 1992.
Yeah.
So, that was, anyway, I still have my, all my logs of what I did, and all that stuff. But, and life kind of takes you, right? Because if you have kids, you're raising kids and you have to kind of, you do that stuff, but I always kept wanting to brew, It's like I'm still like a little kid wanting, wanting to build a train set or something.
Yeah, different styles. You're like, ooh, let's try this style. Let's try this additive or
right now I'm
adjunct.
on Pilsners.
Okay.
It's like because Pilsners are driving me nuts. Just good. Fate Local Lager is a really good one. Greenwood, I have this. I'm drinking right now. It's from Greenwood. They're I can't remember what the name of it is, but they have a Pilsner. It's really good. Pedal House makes a great German Pils.
Yeah, they do.
So I'm just kind of got this, I don't know I don't want to say anything weird, but I got this real itch right now to brew some really good Pilsners in the next couple of months. So.
Oh, okay. Now, do you have a chill like fermenter so you can keep it cold?
Yeah. I actually, my garage gets up to 110 in there, and during the summer.
Yeah.
But I can keep it, actually my stuff at around 52 consistently. So like if I'm doing a lager, I'm usually somewhere between there and 56 degrees.
And can you tell like if it gets a little too warm and gets...
Well, yeah, it'll get kind of fruity and,
okay.
Yeah, it's not what you want. You want a lager, depending on what you're brewing.
Yeah.
But you want it to be real clean.
Yeah.
But if you're brewing if you're brewing something like a different kind of some of them you want a little bit of that esters in there, but really for the most part you don't.
Right. Yeah. You want something crisp and
ales
clean.
You want ester, and that's fine. So,
yeah. I get that. Do you remember what you kept your log. You remember your first brew?
Yeah, it was actually an English mild. It was a extract version.
Okay.
And I just, I think I used some liquid pale malt and then steeped some chocolate malt.
Yeah.
Mix that in, and it actually turned out really way better. I used Charlie Papazian's book.
Oh yeah.
I just went off of his recommendations for the start of everything, and it just turned out to be really cool. It was like fun.
Yeah, and then you fell in love with it?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And then I started realizing, I was making 1 gallon batches, and I thought, and I tried a 5 gallon batch, which I was a little intimidated by it, and I realized it's just as easy as doing a 1 gallon batch, and then you got 5 gallons,
Yeah.
So, so bing, that was a good thing.
Yeah. Like when you were like back in the 90s, I mean, I remember I turned 21 in 97.
Okay.
And, so I kind of started drinking a little bit before then, a couple beers here
we
and
all
there.
did.
Yeah. But it was mostly, like what I can get from my dad's, little stash. So
Whatever
there's always
you can
there's always macro lagers and stuff. I didn't really get, and back in the late 90s, I guess you could say we didn't think of them as craft beers. They were just premium. Like, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was a premium beer.
Yeah, that was like unusual to me. I've never tasted anything like that until I first tried it. And I went, this is a whole new world.
Yeah, but I mean, no one called it craft, even though now it's one of the older major craft brewery around.
Yeah.
So,
that and Sam Adams and Anchor Steam.
Anchor,
like the three that are...
Anchor, and then I think, and then like Widmer Brothers came down. There's the Hefeweizens and Pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you were in California back in the 90s?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what were your beers like around there besides the macros?
Let's see. In the 90s, you could get imported stuff like Guinness, and you get all that. You get your Heinekens and all that. But there wasn't really a lot in the 90s that was like local stuff. Mm-hmm. San Diego was starting to happen, I think, a little later. But most of the stuff you had, it came from like Washington, like Pyramid, or Red Hook.
Red Hook, yeah.
Those you'd get that stuff. Red Hook was great. The ESB.
Oh yeah, the
great.
ESB back before they got bought out.
Oh, and one I'm sorry, you were saying.
No, you're fine.
The one thing that I was remembering is the pale ale from it used to be Slow Brewing.
Yeah, I remember Slow.
Yeah, that Firestone bought them out.
Yeah,
but they had this pale ale that I just loved.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Really good.
I never got the pleasure to have it, so.
Yeah, right.
But I do like Firestone.
Yeah.
My aunt lives in Paso Robles, so.
That's cool.
So when I go visit, every once in a while we'll stop by there.
Yeah, that's definitely. I love Paso Robles.
Yeah.
Great place.
Oh, and the wineries too, they're fantastic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know, man.
You can't live on beer alone, Sometimes you venture out.
Yeah, right. Well, I know a lot of, there's guys that the vintners at Foxen Brewery, and that's in the San Ynez Valley. They used to drink Budweiser all the time. You go there, they used to kind of be in their own tasting room, and just a couple of guys in jeans, and they just said they drank tons of Budweiser while they're making wine.
Hey, it's easy. You're not going to get too shit-faced while you're drinking Budweiser.
Right. Hopefully not.
Making wine takes a while.
Yeah.
After drinking all these craft beers, if I go to a tailgate or something or a party and I'm drinking the macros, I could drink the same amount and not get too inebriated, So I built up my tolerance in that aspect.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing you got to watch for. That's for sure.
Yeah. So tell me about the Arizona Society of Homebrewers.
Well, I've been here since 2020. There's a good crew here. These guys, some of them have been around since the 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
It's a huge club, and it's kind of statewide. There's a lot of guys that are from all over the state of Arizona,
like Tucson and Sedona and Flag.
And there's other guys, they're just doing their thing, or whatever. But I'm glad to know these guys. I've learned a lot, and I'm going through some training. I'm finally deciding to learn how to be a taster, just so I can help them out with contests.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because they host a couple of nationwide open contests. One's a Copper State Copper State Beer Cup, Copper State Cup in the fall, and I think the spring. What's it called? I can't even remember what the name of it, but they hold two contests, and they're big, so they get it. We got a lot of people from Texas and all over, Illinois, Iowa, everywhere, sending beer in and stuff. So it's kind of a chore to do all the tasting, and I kind of feel bad that there's only a few guys that are trained or are certified to be able to do that. So that just to help the guys and the gals too. How many do you have? A lot of female brewers? Not a lot. I wish there were more. But that's always a thing. I think that the craft beer industry is trying to get more and more women involved. It's because come on. Women like to drink beer too, So
they do.
But it seems to kind of been a boys' club for a long time. It seems like, and you always have this picture of some hipster, with the long beard, or the big beard, the big beard, and all that kind of stuff, which was kind of how it was maybe 10, 15 years ago. But I think there's a couple of good women-owned breweries in Arizona now. Greenwood's great.
And then you have Ayla Kapahi down at Borderlands, the head brewer. She's killing it.
Yeah. So that's always a cool thing. We need to have more of that stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it just helps bring a new perspective to the beer community.
Yeah.
And different beers too. They have their own take on beers. So I welcome it.
Yeah, definitely, and it also kind of cleans us up a little bit, because you get all these breweries that are kind of almost sexual kind of names and stuff, and it's sort of a little bit derogatory when you start thinking about it. Yeah. So anyway. It makes you
think twice, because then you're actually alienating a segment of the market that aren't gonna come in because of these dumbass names.
Right.
So I totally get that part. Yeah.
Right.
But your buddy over here told me you won some awards, huh?
I did. I got Best of Show in a Pro-Am 2 years ago.
Okay.
I brewed at Uncle Bear's. They were making TOO, and I boiled it and boosted up the gravity and added some more hops to it, and made it into a pre-prohibition lager.
Oh, okay.
Which I was shocked that anyway, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, I know Andrew. I've met him.
He's awesome, man.
Yeah.
He's great. He's really fun, nice guy.
Oh yeah.
And so last year, partner and I went and worked. We did a pro-am at the shop.
Oh yeah.
You know, so they were making. Let's see, what were we making? They wanted to make a Bohemian Pilsner.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, so not a premium, but there's two kind of. There's a Bohemian Pilsner and there's a premium Pilsner that they make. You know,
what's the difference?
Pilsner Urquell is like a premium Bohemian Pilsner,
Okay.
And then there's other ones that you'll see from Czechoslovakia that they're just a little less big.
Okay.
That's as best I can tell you.
The lighter.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
You know, so they're, you know.
Yeah. To each their own, you know.
Yeah.
There's always room for variation. 'Cause you never know. I mean, every taste is so subjective. So.
It is, man, and that's why I kind of went. I was shocked. Some guys were going, "Hey, congratulations!" I'm going, "Really?" I said, honestly, on any given day, that could have been thrown out. You know, you know what I mean? Like you just don't know. So you know, sometimes the wind's blowing in the right direction or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really put. I appreciate the grading and the critiques because it does help you become a better brewer.
Mm-hmm.
But winning doesn't necessarily mean you got the best thing out there.
Right. Yeah.
I've had some really good beers that I thought were really best to show. But they didn't win. So whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I've been to plenty of these beer festivals, and I'm thinking, wow, this is the best beer I've had here.
Yeah.
And then something else wins. I'm like, oh, that one was okay.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't bad. It just was okay.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried, the whole beer judging, there's a beer judging certification program.
Yeah, BGCP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, you try and be as unsubjective as you can, but still it comes down to your taste buds and your nose and everything else. So,
yeah. And that's where that's why they have training and all that, so what the style is. But then within that style, you have your favorites in your own taste buds.
That's the thing, I mean, some people may think, well, this style, typifies this style, but this doesn't, and somebody else would say, no, this, it's just kind of like.
Well, I was talking with Drew Poole from Wren House, and he was saying one of their beers got downgraded because they thought they added juice to it.
What?
Because they brought out the hops so well that they thought, no, there's no way
extract in there.
Or something, or even just pure fruit juice in it just to get that flavor.
That's a judge should never do that. You can't assume that anything. You can't assume somebody did that just because you think they did.
Yeah. But then that was what their taste buds would tell them. So I guess
Yeah.
But Anyway. So what kind of beers do you like to, besides the Pilsner that you're fixated on right now, like generally?
Yeah. Actually Pilsners.
Okay, all
I
right.
like those.
Fair enough.
I just recently made a Munich Dunkel, which I think is nice, and you try not to make it too cloying, and it needs to be fairly dry, but it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that one.
Oh, okay.
I like stouts. I love stouts always. IPAs. It's just I'm not a raging fan. I'll drink them now and then. I love Deschutes. Fresh Squeeze. I think that's great.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
And Stones is a good one. They always make a good IPA. But
yeah, when you want a nice kick in the face, give me a Stone IPA.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised. I like church music. I think that's. Because I don't like hazies much. If I ever see them on the menu, I just bypass them.
Oh, okay.
But I'm, look, I'm like 70 years old, so I kind of I'm a little set in my ways, But a lot of younger guys love the hazies. They love, real fruity, and so kind of depends on what you've been exposed to and what you've decided, that's your jam.
Yeah, I mean, I like IPAs and hazies too. Not primarily, but those are some I like, and I've noticed with the hazies that I'm not a big fan of the wheat that they. But when they put, I like oats.
Oats seems to work better. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but I get why they add wheat. Some people like it.
Yeah.
Some people love the wheat, so that's fine. That's their thing. So
I think what
not
was
against it.
The one that Santan did.
The Juicy
Moon
Jack?
Juice.
Oh, Moon Juice.
I think they put wheat in there.
Oh, okay.
And I like Moon Juice. It's okay, but it's a little. I think it was maybe an early iteration of some stuff they were trying to do.
Oh, okay. Just trying out different things.
And it just kind of caught on, and they still make it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but some people that's their jam. So I can't say it's wrong. It's just
right.
Subjective. Like you said, is. The Arizona Society of Homebrewers, they have their own competitions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nationally sanctioned, a BJCP sanctioned competition. Yeah. So guys earn points, for Homebrewer of the Year and stuff like that.
So, right on. Yeah. Do you guys, besides being collaborative, are you guys pretty competitive too?
Most of the guys are pretty cool.
Well, I'm not saying they're not cool, but you still want to.
Well,
sometimes.
I don't know, when you say competitive is maybe not a good word,
okay.
But most of the guys really strive for excellence.
Okay, there you
go. And maybe that's a better way of putting it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that that's absolutely a fact. Those guys, they're I talk a lot of just you kind of nerd out in your conversations
right.
with all this stuff, and you go, oh, man, I got to try this, and I learned a lot of stuff from a lot of the guys there. So.
Yeah, but and just talking with the fellow brewers and what they're doing, and then you try to not outdo them, but just try to
you want to improve.
You want to make yourself better.
Yep. Yeah.
Just over and over again, right?
Right. Yeah. That's what my next plan is, to start doing pilsners. I'm going to make about 3 in a row, and I'm going to try different hops and a little bit different. See what I'll make one, check it, and then I got kind of a program I want to do. So we'll see how it goes, man.
That's awesome. Hey, well, thank you for sitting down with me and hanging out, and I hope we have a good festival. It's about to start. Yeah, they're about to let people in. And
they're pumping that music up, and it's just ready to go.
Well, the VIP, when the VIP crowd comes in, it's still but when the general admission comes in, it's just going to be inundated. It's going to be packed. It's going to be busy. Yeah, it's going to be. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
The Rodecaster, plus I got the Procaster mic.
Yes, of course.
I just got these pod mics from Rode.
So nice.
Yeah.
We started using these. We switched to them too.
Yeah.
They're great because they're like, it's $100. It's an amazing price.
Yeah.
And they're like just as good as that guy, just as good as like the RE420s. For what the price is, they're amazing microphones.
Yeah, the Shure, the 700 or whatever it is.
Yeah, like all those, like the Shure SMB like 5 or what?
SM 7 or something like that.
Yeah, SMB 7, but there's a letter after it now because there's a new version of it or whatever's the newest one, and there's like,
that $200-300. But even Rode has like $600 mics, man.
Right.
But those are like for like vocal. They're not for podcasting.
Right. Yeah. You need something that's going to be like, this is great. This is great for this.
Yeah. So these are brand new. You're the first one to use that one.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, all right, I'll take it home with me then. That's how it works, right?
I claim it.
Throw my name on the side of it. Just be like,
got your spit all over it. It's mine now.
Yeah. Well, you got the pop guard. That's nice.
Yeah. They come with the pop, and these are just a windscreen because I didn't know what the condition would be like today.
Yeah. Well, dude, last couple of days have been crazy.
Well, you know how it is, like recording at these things.
I know. I brought we have the Rode Wires to go microphones because we're like, we don't really have a booth, but we walk around and talk to people, and like having to have a backpack and XLR cables and microphones and like. Every time we talk to the shop, Dave turns off his microphone somehow because he's just fidgety, and he turns it off. And so every time we get a recording, like you get like half of him talking and half of him not.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, we got to get something that we can use with him where he can't mess it up. And it's like, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like little like squares.
Yeah.
And you just like clip them on and you talk.
Oh yeah, what are they called? Lavaliers or something like that, right?
Well, it's a lavalier, is like the little cord with the little small microphone.
Yeah.
You can plug them into that. But these are they're like 2 squares, and then there's a third square that's the receiver.
Yeah.
And those 2 actually have microphones built into them, and you can just clip them on like this.
Oh, okay.
And just talk.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you need a mic without a on-off.
Yep, with a lavalier going on. Yeah, so they're great, and they have internal, so they record internally, but then they actually transmit back to the receiver.
Oh.
And then it records on there too. So you can basically just pull out the SD card, put it in, or put the USB in and pull it off there.
Fucking fancy as shit, man.
Yeah, we got that instead, and then that came out, and it was like, God damn it! I was just like, yeah, sorry, brother.
Yeah.
That's next.
Yeah.
Maybe for the studio, we'll see.
I recommend it, and yeah, all the stuff you can do with this now. I'm just barely even tapping into it.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the buttons you can add.
You can add sound effects to the button pads, right? And do like you can actually like go through. You can like set.
I haven't been able to drag and drop on this though for the sound effects, which really is really a pain in the ass.
That's weird.
The first Rodecaster, I was able to drag and drop, and I had a shitload of sounds on mine.
Right? Yeah, I remember listening to your show, and you had tons of sounds in there. I was always like, "Does he add those after the fact?" But no, you did with this.
But this one you could do like the real low Darth Vader voice. You could do the really high pitched voice.
Oh, it's got the
yeah. If you want to fuck around with that.
Nice. Yeah, that's our
maybe you have a brewer who wants to spill the beans but doesn't want their voice on there.
Has the robotic voice going on to it.
Yeah.
And I had that. We used to use a 12-channel mixer, and that thing like had like all those like you could change all the sound effects for different channels and stuff, and it was fun. But you're like, what am I doing this with?
Right.
I don't use it that often. There's no so.
Yeah. So how you like the beer festival so far? You just got here, right?
Well, I've been here for a little bit.
Okay.
So the line was pretty crazy. Like,
dude, I went to the bathroom and the lines around the block.
Yeah, it was. So I got here like 20 till 12, right? So 12 gets VIP comes in.
Yeah.
And I thought I was gonna I'm gonna be a little bit late. We'll see how it goes. And then I was like, oh no, I got here just in time, evidently, because as soon as I got here, it started. I was like, maybe a third back in the courtyard, because you're in front of the courtyard of the Marriott, and it was all the way back to the road back here by the fields.
Yeah.
And I was like, and people in line were like, is this general admission line or what's going on? Like, people were confused because there wasn't signage. You didn't know where to line up. So it was a little weird for that, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lot, which is cool.
And they have like 3 waves. They have VIP, the 1 o'clock, and the 2 o'clock.
Right. So that should be interesting to see how that goes. Which is going to be it's going to make it a little softer. The thing about Strong Beer Fest is you feel, as soon as GA gets in, you feel that wave.
Yeah. Oh,
instantly.
yeah.
Like, like you just can't like walk up to any, like, because there's like right now, like the bigger places are going to have a little bit of a line, and there's usually not that bad, right? But like at GA gets in, it's every place that has beer. Like everybody just wants something to drink, and so they're gonna find a place and just walk and get in line, and then like, so it's kind of a bummer. But so we'll see how this goes. I like that they're gonna stagger it. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, that is. It does soften the blow.
It softens it a little. So hopefully by the second wave, I'm already, topped off, and I don't need anywhere more.
Any place you want to hit?
Well, I did a lap already. I saw a couple places. The Pure Project is pouring. I think it was at is it Pour or is it Casual Point that's doing the Pure Project stuff?
Okay.
Them for sure. Dark Sky is always on the list. Like a lot of local places for sure, and places that I haven't tried. Like I've tried to hit some of the places that are like I know are newer.
Like that Phantom Fox place. I haven't hit
Fox. I haven't gotten to them yet. I want to hit them next. I did Bukabichi, which is it's a Sonoran brewery. We actually just talked about our podcast. This last episode, and it's a place that we were unfamiliar with. They're in Chandler, I want to say.
Okay.
But they're a Sonoran brewery. They're actually from Sonoran.
Oh.
And so they opened a location here, right? Star Brew and Beer. And later this year, they're going to actually open a space in Phoenix somewhere. And we're like, we didn't even know what the first location. Now they're opening a second location? That's pretty crazy. So I had their hazy. It was weird because I can't remember what it's called. I took a picture of it because I was like, I never remember the name of this. It was something that I couldn't pronounce.
Yeah.
Like the name, which by the way, we recorded and we released it, and I got a bunch of texts from people being like, you're saying it wrong. I'm like, we know we are. We're not pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
And but like I tried their hazy. It was a little malty in the nose, but it smelled kind of malty. I was just like, oh, that seems a little weird for a hazy.
Yeah.
But it tasted really good. So the aroma was one of the things where like it kind of threw you off a little bit, but for a hazy it was spot on. It was good.
Yeah, Torito Farm's got a really good hazy right now with Nectaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, Nectaron's, that's kind of...
That's like the new kid on the block, right?
I know, man. I've seen a lot from Great Notion, does some Nectaron stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I'm like this. Big fan of that. So it's weird seeing some of the bigger players not here, though. Like, I know they've been here in the past, like Wren House.
Wren's not here, yeah.
The Tombstone, the shop. I don't see the shop here either.
Yep. Yeah, me neither.
I'm like, oh, man, that's kind of a bummer, which, I guess it's I know it's hard for people to pick and choose what festivals they go to. They all have so much time to vote to things, so it makes sense, but it's like, oh man, those are the guys I want to hit up.
yeah. But maybe it just opens you up to new places you haven't tried.
Right, it gives me more chance to try places I haven't tried, for sure. I can go to like just the random breweries that like we can't get to. I want to see if like everybody's like, you try 100 Mile. I'm like, I don't know. Here?
Yeah, there's one I haven't ever even heard of. Corbett.
Yeah, I was like,
from Tucson.
I think Belfry's over here. I saw it. I was like, I've seen it. I've seen their stuff. I've never been there, so I've had their
Cottonwood,
beers.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, stuff like that. Like it's gonna be more of that today for sure. Like a lot of like breweries that I've wanted to get to and try and really haven't.
Yeah. And you guys have been killing it, man. You and Eddie.
Thank you.
You guys just been pumping out shows, dude.
Trying. We've been trying to like focus on consistency and trying to do it so we're making it easier for ourselves in general. Because I mean, you know how just editing is a slugfest sometimes.
Yeah.
Like that's like I laugh about it, and we like somebody was like, they're like, hey, I'm gonna start a podcast, blah blah, and I was like, cool, congratulations. I'm like, that's good, congratulations.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The hard part's when you have to edit.
Yeah.
It's sitting down and talking is easy. Everybody can do that. Really, once you get past like the stage fright, I mean, quote unquote, but like actually sitting down and editing and trying to figure out what should be and what should be out and editing things, it's just so much. And so trying to like be more concise about what we talk about and being more like, actually producing a show instead of just recording a show is helpful,
I mean, you could do that. You could just record and just put it out raw.
Right.
That's one. But then when you start doing it and you listen back to your own stuff and you're like,
It's tough. It's so funny. Like I was listening to a thing the other day. They were talking about like how filler words are like a natural part of our language, and people have the and so's and the ums and the buts and the uhs, and you listen to it in recordings and you're like, oh, I gotta take a lot of this out. I gotta remove so much of it, and it's one of those things where it's part of our language and we don't really realize we do it all the time anyways.
Yeah.
But it became a huge issue when people started recording audio of people, like just from like way back. Like when you started recording voice on a record,
on a wax cylinder.
Yeah, they start listening to it and they're like, oh, this sounds awful. And like people start getting angry about it. And you're like, that's really funny that like it took people to record something to be able to recognize that it was being used so often in speech.
Yeah, and you don't realize until you get into something like this, and when you watch the news or listen to the radio, like the DJs, they know what they're doing. They cut out all the filler words already.
Yeah, it's already gone. It's out of the vocabulary for the most part. Mm-hmm. It's hard as a natural speaker just to have that, because like there's a lot of filler words have a space in language, and it has a space for things, right? Like it's like verbal commands, right? Mm-hmm. So when you say things like, if I could ask you like, hey, what are some filler words, and would you know what they actually were, or how you use them in language, you probably couldn't tell me. But if I start giving you examples of them, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's 100 makes sense, right? Like 100 makes sense, like the ums and the buts and like how long an is, or how long somebody says an or an I or something.
Or
it's
even
like.
Yeah.
Always in there. And it's those things that like, again, they're conveying a message without actually having to say the whole message to people when you're having a conversation, because it's an exchange of ideas. It's really interesting.
But once you get it, it opens up a whole new world.
Yeah, when I started on the podcast, now Ed does most of the editing, but like I tried to make it sound more natural, so I didn't remove all of them. I left some in there just because I was like, you remove everything, it just sounds so sterile and it doesn't sound great.
But sometimes you don't realize it when you do it, and it's like right in between something. You just can't do it, or else it sounds weird.
It sounds totally weird. Or you remove it, and you lose the meaning of what that conversation is going to be, like what they're going to say after that. You remove it, and then you listen to it, and you're like, oh, that you need that there. You could tell that they were contemplating an idea or trying to form a thought in their brain. Yeah. And the was the space that gave you that idea. So it's just interesting to hear that, and then to go so like, because there are like people that they're very just sterile and very like it sounds really robotic, and it's just not fun to listen to for me, at least.
I get it. So it's just trying to get a little bit better at what you do for fun.
Right.
It's just crazy because we don't get paid for this shit.
No. I was like, I saw my wife the other day. I was like, listen, it's not a full-time job. I mean, if we made it a full-time job, I'm sure you can make it successful and make money at it, but it's a hobby. It shouldn't be. It should be fun.
Yeah,
I should
exactly.
enjoy this. It should be like,
if it becomes a job, why even do it anymore? Or a chore, I should say.
Right, yeah. If it's a chore, if it's like I'm punching the clock every time I have to do this, then
that'll
loses
stop.
Its fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I just invested, so I got
you got to get your ROI back on this, man.
Just a little bit.
Well, very cool. How else things going, man? How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. Yeah. Still doing I've been doing a recording every month now from Tap That downtown.
Yeah.
The craft beer bar. So Roshim actually, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I have this idea. Would you be interested?"
Yeah.
I go, "Yeah, sure. It gets me out of the house."
Right.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I get to meet people I would normally, associate with, or he has a contact he can
Get you
So
in.
yeah.
Very
So that
cool.
I had a conversation with. I'm blanking on the first one now. Garrett from Oso, one of the brewers
okay.
out of Oso.
Nice.
And then this last time I did a conversation with Drew from Ren.
Yep.
And then next month is State 48.
Oh, okay.
So a couple of the guys from there.
That's really cool.
So I haven't talked to any of those guys ever. So
State 48, yeah, I haven't talked to them. Also, I've met them at like the Brewers Ball thing forever ago, or is it the Brewers like right before Strong Beer Fest? They always did or Wild and Woody. It was like this like Brewers conference they had for a while.
Beforehand, yeah.
I went to it. I was just like, I'm not a brewer, but I'm gonna go check it out to see because anybody can go to it.
It was open, yeah.
And so I was like, I'm gonna check it out because I was like, it's a good place to meet people and make contacts with other breweries and stuff. And I talked to people from Oso there for a bit, and we just never actually hooked up. But they, it's great. I mean, it's good to talk to people that you haven't talked to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Oso's like, they're opening so many breweries and have so many locations now, and it's interesting to see the dynamic from that, right? You started as a home brewer. I mean, really, Oso is the outrageous right, home brewer society or whatever, and so like you go from like that kind of concept of just like people come in and they brew these beers and then we serve them at this restaurant to now you have another location. And now you have another location, and now you're throwing spirits in it, and now you're throwing another location. Like, how does that?
And they're franchising out now.
Right. So now you have the Starving Artist is going in the Hilton spot, and like you're like, how does that? Like, how do you do that? Like, what things have you learned along the way that's helped you in that progress? Like, what have you learned? What are some mistakes you've made? Right. Like, is this gonna be better? Are you trying about doing more? Like, it's just interesting to get some of that information from those people and see what they're thinking. Yeah. Because, we talked to Drew. I ran out. We talked to Drew. I went back and listened, and it was like they were just going to celebrate their 2nd anniversary.
Oh, that's like 5 years ago?
Right, which is crazy at this point. I talked to him. Like, that's one of the first time we ever talked to him was that episode, and I listened to it. And we're asking them questions, and they're saying things, and like Drew's talking about, like he's like, we're never going to open like a giant warehouse production facility type of thing. And then they did, right? And they got to that point, and you're like, that's really funny that their mindset at that point was so different compared to where it is now, right? And same with I talked to Puebla Vita, and Kyle there was like, everything he talked about was very from a point of not a businessman, but more of a beer lover, like a craft beer lover in general. Like every decision they were like, the art should be as cool as the beer, and like if we put so much time in the art, we should put time in the beer, and we like these flavors, and wet hops is important. And when you get it's interesting to hear that, and I'm like, man, it's been a long time. Is that still the way they operate? Are they still operating in that mindset, or is it different now? Is it different because they're a business? Is it business actually had to make harder decisions as a business sometimes than it is as a lover of craft beer, right?
Right, yeah.
They're always mutually exclusive. There's exclusive ideas, but sometimes they don't overlap.
Because sometimes you need that income that normally you wouldn't with your original business model.
Yeah.
And to even attempt to do half of what you wanted to do before, you need to get people in there and buy your shit.
You got to be able to have that capital to be able to keep operating. And, it's great luxury to have, but do they still have that luxury? Are they still operating under that pretense?
And just as well as anyone else, that a lot of breweries close.
Oh yeah,
there have been a lot of closings. So
yeah, which is in this last year, the idea is not the idea.
Oh, then craft beer actually receded a little bit.
It declined a little bit, which and I don't know. Like I think that there's still gonna be breweries opening. I said there's gonna be people. It's still gonna happen. I think that we're gonna see. It's like the cream of the crop kind of idea, right? Like people that are actually doing great beer, but at the same time having a great product out there. I think those are the people that you're gonna see do well, right? And the people that are just kind of like, hey, we're brewing beer and we want to sell it. They don't have no business model. They have no brand. They have no. People aren't going to be excited about that stuff, and they're not going to be as sustainable as some of these places that are, that do have that stuff.
Yeah.
It's
and there's a little luck involved too.
100%. I think. You open a brewery in a great location, that you get some diehard fans that are like, this is the place. This is the place that makes the best beer in the state, or whatever. It doesn't matter because it's convenient and it's good to them, and it's going to be what it is. But it's helpful. And everything else, it takes one thing to help kind of get you there. That's why we we made that beer at the shop forever ago, and like,
that was such a good beer, man. I love that beer.
They wanted to put it in bottles. They wanted to bottle it. We were talking to them. They're like, we should just put it in crawlers. We'll just crawler ourselves, or we'll put it into like a big glass bottle. And I was like, we're all like, it was like me, Nate, and Jeff. We're like, listen, let's not do that. Listen. Public Vita's doing it. Wilderness is doing it. You know, Ren is doing it. We can talk to them. We can figure out how to put it in cans. And they're like, and then we convinced them that we should do. I went home and I mocked up the can art, and I sent it to Dave, and it was like, this is what we kind of look like in a can. And like within like a week, he was like, yeah, we should can this. I was just like, yes. And it makes a big deal. I think
it was the right move.
Yeah. And you get now, and you're like, yeah, 60-ounce cans is where it's at. Like,
but back then that was the margin right there. But back then it was like people were just barely
crawlers
going
were
over.
Big, man. Crawlers were big back then. Everybody loved crawler. You can get crawlers everywhere. Yep. And then 60. We're just like 60-ounce cans are so nice. And the thing I think that what you get from a 60-ounce can, you just get from a crawler besides quality, right, in general, but you get. And it's hard to qualify, but it's recognition, right? If I get a 4-pack of cans or 2 4-packs or whatever, I can ship one to my buddy somewhere, right? I can do some beer trade with somewhere, right? Just because the art of the can or whatever it is, I can do trading. And now somebody in some other state knows who Wren House is, or somebody knows who the shop is, or that alone gets a lot of people excited about it. And so then they know people here. They're like, hey, have you been to the shop? Have you been here? Hey, I want more cans from this place.
I think craft beer stumbled upon the 4-pack, the 16-ounce 4-pack.
Yeah.
Because now that's kind of like an icon. It's an iconic image when you see the 4-pack.
I can it's hard for me to go to a place and if they don't have 60-ounce cans, I almost don't want to get their beer. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like, I can go to the tap room and drink it, but I'm like, I want to be able to like grab a 4-pack and go home or take it to like a party or somewhere. I
do appreciate though the 12-ounce. Of like the barrel-aged stouts, though.
Yeah, listen, there is a format for those for sure. Because some of those, even at this point, I'm always like, that's just too much beer for me. I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta go home and be like, I want to drink a 22-ounce. Or 22% stout.
Even the granddaddy, the Bourbon County brand stout. Even those bottles are too big just for me anyway.
Sure. Yeah. 120s, like stuff like that. Like where you're like, listen, some of these bigger ABV formats should come in. A 12-ounce format is a shareable format at that point.
Yeah, the first one I saw to do it was Firestone Walker. I'm not saying they were the first. That's the first one I saw.
Like the parabolas and stuff. Used to do. Yeah,
exactly.
We used to do like, it was like I think Epic did it, and there's other people that had that like that. It was a very fancy 12-ounce bottle that had a cork in it, and it was like the swing top, like the little screw cap, like a champagne bottle, and that was really cool. And that was something special. They made a special bottle or it came in a box like that, and it was like, oh, this is something a little different.
Yep.
And then you look at it and you're like, oh, it's $22 and it's friggin' 42%. You're like, holy shit. So, yeah, I love that stuff, man. That's just always good. It's interesting to see like how craft beer went from bombers and growlers were like, it was the rage forever, right?
Oh, you have your collection of growlers from your favorite breweries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And then then the stigma of cans kind of went away a little bit, and so you start seeing crawlers more often, and then now it's hard to find a bottle of like a bomber of beer from anybody. Like it's like a specialty. Like it's almost like a specialty record you get from somewhere.
It's a novelty,
right? Yeah. It's a novelty thing. We're like, hey, this comes in a bottle now. This is funny.
Oh, look at this retro.
Yeah, it's just because it's the way the market. I mean, that's what consumers wanted, and that's what they shifted to, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I think COVID helped with that a little bit too. I mean, there wasn't aluminum storage for a bit there, but people were like, well, we're going to put in these weird formats. We're going to put
the stove top or the stovepipe, whatever they call them.
Stovepipes and stuff, yeah. I think Great Divide was like one of the first people I saw do that with their Yetis. You got a Yeti of like a stovepipe of Yeti. You're like, oh, Jesus.
Oso's doing it with their ales from the crypt, right?
Yep.
On some of them?
Yeah, some of them, and then some of them are like even the smaller, like the Red Bull can size. Where it's like that thinner, smaller one, which is always interesting.
The 8.4 ounce or whatever.
Cascade does that, which uses a lot of sours. Cascade makes a little they used to bottles. They used to big bottles, big sours and stuff. And now you get them in there like that little Red Bull skinny can, and you're like, oh shit! All right.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every once in a while, we'll get Cascade here. It's been a little bit, but other than that, I don't know. Food's good here, man. There's a lot of food trucks. That's pretty impressive how many food trucks there are here.
Yeah, there's one thing I noticed about this year is that not just the food trucks, but also the arts and crafts people and like
the activities, like roller skating here, the bouncy houses going on.
To be honest, I haven't seen anyone roller skate yet.
I saw they had some people that were like, I think part of it were roller skating. I haven't seen anyone else doing it. I was like,
not yet.
Listen, I think it's a cool thing to have that, but I'm like, man, I don't know much drinking and roller skating's a good idea. Like roller skating in general is dangerous. Well, maybe some people drinking into it.
Maybe some people need drinking to get the
there?
bravery.
It's like a dance thing.
The courage, yeah, liquid courage.
That's too funny. Yeah, but it's interesting to see that happen. The only thing I would say is if I wish that I mean you're looking like next to us is like there's Anderson over there and there's some people over here, but like I wish it was a little bit more intermingled with the beer and the stands, because right now it's like the north side of the field is all beer with some other like things thrown in there like jerky and stuff, and then the south edge just food and vendors, and that side's going to be empty.
Yeah, well,
I
think it's because it's first come first serve,
okay.
and all the local, not only breweries but distributors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They get here on Friday night and they set up.
Okay.
And so they're like, well, we'll just be all over here.
We'll still there.
Yeah.
It just would make sense to like, well, I mean, I don't know if that makes more sense if they did it that way. But like to me, it'd be like, listen, we're gonna put like 3 breweries and then a vendor, and because that way you can kind of like spread some of the lines out. Because what's gonna happen is that side's gonna be fucking jam packed.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be hard to get through, and that's gonna be like nothing.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yeah. No one will be at Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah.
I know. In fact, there's nobody there
Bass
right
Pro.
now.
I was like, I guess they're selling the hats to everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, good for them. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming and sitting down, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Got my new little setup here, and you got your new bar, man.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going.
Yeah.
It's going. Yeah.
What's anything come up that you weren't ready for, that you had to learn on the fly?
No, not really. Been in the beer industry for 10 plus years, so everything thrown at me I've pretty much dealt with for the most part.
Okay, yeah. So how are you liking it though? Being
I love it. I love the beer industry. I love the beer family. Everybody's fairly good as far as coming together to help each other out.
Yeah.
I love about Arizona. You don't always get that, so it's nice to have that.
Yeah. How's the were you guys building out in the back?
Yeah, we're trying to do a venue side.
Yeah.
It's at a standstill right now between the city and funds. We're kind of at a standstill, so just waiting to see what happens.
It seems like that's a common occurrence with any building project.
Yeah. Glendale's so focused on Westgate right now.
Oh.
They don't have a lot of attention on downtown Glendale.
Yeah.
It sucks, but hopefully that changes and they try to focus on the downtown area, which is the heart of Glendale.
Yeah.
We'll just wait and see.
Right, but yeah, you got that resort and the amusement park coming, and that's all they really care about right now, huh?
Going on down there. So much.
Yeah, and that's kind of part of it because
it's almost too busy though. You know?
Because they have that they have their inspectors down there instead of being able to go to your spot. So I it sucks. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand what you mean by too busy, because I went to Westgate, took my daughter there one time to go to the movies, and I'm like, where the fuck do I park now?
And they're trying to charge you for parking probably.
Yeah, well they did, but then there was at the theater they had someone refund you. So I had to pay on my card, but then there's someone at the theater at a table like this, and they, here's $20, like a $20 bill. So as long as you patronize the places, they'll refund you.
Yeah.
But
down there just taking my lady to lunch, and they try to charge me for parking. I'm like, you're crazy. Tow my car. I ain't paying for parking.
Well, one time, we parked across the street at Bass Pro Shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just because they had an event. It was that one weekend they had Carrie Underwood there.
Oh yeah.
So
seeing if they have an event or multiple events, forget about it. I went there for Metallica. They're trying to charge $75 for parking.
Jeez, man, that ain't right. I used to live at those apartments on the other side of Bass Pro Shop.
I live there too, and she was like, I ain't paying for parking. I live here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, with something like that, you just walk over. He's like, hey, come over to my place and we'll walk over.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I saw Marshall a little while ago. And yeah, you guys got some time tappings going on over there?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, we have our black IPA. We have a Taste of Arizona, which is a Pilsner.
Yeah.
I think we have a hazy and something else. We have 4 beers on it.
Yeah, I want to try that black IPA, but man, the lines are so damn long.
I know. And the crazy thing is, today is just like, the line is still like wrapped around the corner.
Yeah, all the way around
So
the
many
block.
people, and it's great to see, but I hate to see those people waiting so long to try to get in.
Yeah, yeah. But they also had 3 waves, right? They had the 12, the 1, and the 2. So I was talking with Chris from Hoppy Craftsman, and he put it a good way. I mean, he's like, it softens the blow, not like strong beer where you had the general admission come in. It's like all of a sudden you can't move.
Yeah.
At least it's like a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So
Yeah, they definitely going to have to come up with a plan for that going forward, because this event is definitely getting bigger.
yep, I was
So-
just thinking that too.
So, given that fact, people don't want to wait in line for 45 minutes to an hour to get in
Yeah,
when they pay,
60, 75 bucks.
75 bucks for a ticket. They want to optimize that time.
Yeah. So yeah, they definitely. If Joe asked me, like, because he every once in a while he'll ask, hey, he's like, how'd you like the event? Is there anything we could improve? I'm gonna say, you need a bigger venue, and a bigger entrance.
This is a great venue.
Yeah.
I love the spot. It's worked out well so far,
Mm-hmm.
and it's put together well. We just need to come up with a solution on getting people into the event.
Yeah. Well, like a wider entrance, more lanes. I think that'll help.
Yeah.
But then you need people to snap those lanes.
Strong beer,
too.
you got like 10 or 12 lanes.
Yeah.
We're going to have to open up to that to mandate what is necessary
Oh.
to get people in.
You know, they have the drive-in for the vendors and everything. What if they make that a secondary?
That's possible.
Just so
We
two.
definitely got to look at it, because this is definitely outgrowing what we did last year.
Yeah. Which is a good thing, because I read articles online. It's like, oh, our beer festival's dead. They don't say they are, but the questions out there. I'm like, maybe some of the other beer festivals I've been to, it's
I
just
think it's
a little
one of
like.
the top festivals for Arizona.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think so, and it's only its 3rd year.
Yeah.
So
So it's got a lot of potential to grow.
yeah, and it just it goes to show that maybe they hit some, and it's really at a good time of year.
Oh yeah.
Right before the weather's beautiful, right before spring training, so you don't have to worry about that crowd.
You got another beer festival coming up in a couple weeks up north.
Mhm.
And after that, you got Strong Beer and Beer Week. It's good timing.
Yeah, and so yeah, they really did their homework, and I've talked to Joe before. Him and Long, they know their demographics, and they know exactly what they're doing.
I
So
love Joe, and I love doing stuff for Hoppy State.
yeah,
I'm happy to be a part of it, and hopefully we can work through the small kinks that are in it. I would
Yeah.
say right now.
because it's just this festival is in its like toddler stage right now, so it's still growing.
Yeah.
It's still working out the kinks, like you said. What have you had so far? Anything standing
a lot
out?
of good stuff. So Sugar Bar has a really good stout that's on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chupacabra had a barrel age that's like 2015. It's almost 17%. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Castle Pint has a really good one. Catalyst always comes with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff. A lot of out-of-state stuff, which is by far optimist, because it's nice to have a lot of local stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but having all the stuff out-of-state is like a premium to people here in Arizona.
Yeah, especially I haven't heard of Brewery X. This is the first time I heard of them,
yeah,
and I've heard they got some good
amazing.
stuff. Yeah,
They do amazing sours
yeah.
that are up around 10-12%.
Okay. Nah, those are some big sours.
Yeah. seltzers that are way up there.
Oh yeah, the
they're
heavy
amazing.
seltzers. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Some of the really good stuff out there.
I got to try to get some of that, but man, by the time I get there, but by the time I get there, it's probably gonna be gone, because everyone keeps talking about that spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's not just the out of towners. It's like the what do you call it? The out of towners that are like not the big guys. Like they have Oscar Blues down there, and they have Stone over there, which is cool. They're out of towners, but they're also well distributed. Yeah, but like you have like this Brewery X, like we're talking about. They're from Anaheim. I haven't heard of them until now, and so the small, they need some more of those craft breweries.
Accidentally going to a couple of the breweries in Anaheim, and they were like right across the street, and I was like amazed at some of the stuff that they do.
Yeah, but there's also I've also noticed a lack of some of the bigger guys around here. Like I don't see Ren, I don't see Shop, I don't see Wilderness.
Yeah, a lot of big boys from the local scene are not here today.
Yeah,
Jim's House not here, Goldwater's not here.
yeah,
Red House. I think they kind of took a back seat to this. Some changes were made on how they do the initial sign up for these guys. So hopefully going forward, that will retreat back to what it was.
yeah.
And those guys will be a part of it next year. But all said and done, we got some hitters here that we would not normally have. So
Yeah, a lot of new guys. Like I've never heard of Corbett.
yeah.
They're here. Torito Farms is here. Always good to see them.
I got hooked on from a buddy of mine that carries a mic, and they're really great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff out here.
Oh yeah.
It's only going to get bigger
Yep, and better.
and better.
Upward and onward. All right, man. Mike, thanks for stopping
Hey,
by.
cheers, brother.
Let's go have some beer. Cheers.
Indeed.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Alexis Bell. What's your name?
My name's Greg.
Nice to meet you, Greg. That's my
I'm the-
dad's name.
Oh, nice. Very
Awesome
nice.
name. Awesome name.
So, is this your first time at Copper Steak? This is the third one.
This is my first time, and I feel a little left out. I didn't get the memo about the chains. Everyone has necklaces with little snacks on it.
Oh, yeah. That's a beer fest thing.
I'm a rookie.
With the pretzels and stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big jewelry guy, so I don't wear them.
Yeah.
But so, what do you think?
So far, I'm loving it. This is my first time here. We're lucky because it's so nice out.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day, and honestly, it's really incredible. I mean, they have so many different venues. They have a lot of different food.
Yeah.
They have a lot of different. You could go for beer. You could go for wine. You could do tequila. You could do vodka. I mean, everything's incredible. They really set it up. Really, really nice. It's very organized. I'm very happy. I'm having a great day.
Have you tried roller skating yet?
You know what? Can I tell you? That's something I came here for.
Are you
On top
serious?
of the beer and everything, I saw that and I said, I have to do the roller skating. And honestly, every time I look over, no one's in there, so I think I might be the first one.
I think everyone needs a little bit more courage, liquid courage, and then they'll be out there.
And I will tell you, I will be roller skating. I'll probably fall down a couple times, but it's all going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that.
It depends how many times you get up. That's all that matters.
I know. We'll see if I can stay up.
All right. Well, you have a good time. I think
Thank
your
you
friends
so
want to go
much.
on and get some more drinks.
Oh, I'm sure. Thank you so much, Greg. You take care. Have
You
a good
too.
one. Thank you
Cheers.
so much. Cheers.
I don't like giving interviews. I just like talking about beer. Usually, that's what it's a beer podcast.
Yeah.
And first off, what's your name?
My name's Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Where are you from?
From Chicago.
Oh, okay. What are you
Yeah.
doing down here? You're escaping the cold, right?
I live here now working. So
Oh,
doing the
okay.
things, yeah.
That's why. Like, where do you live in the valley?
Chandler.
Oh, Chandler. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
So-
I'm way out in Surprise.
Oh.
So this is a little
okay.
trip for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just have generic conversations with everyone? That's awesome.
No. Well, I have a beer podcast.
Right.
But I know not everyone's into beer. But you're here at a beer festival, so let's talk
Yeah.
about the festival. I
Yeah,
want to know how
sure.
you, like, have you ever been to any beer festival before? Not just
I've
Copper
not.
State. Okay.
I have not.
So what's your first impression?
My first impression was everyone's so welcoming, type
Mm-hmm.
thing, and they're really proud about, the things they stand on, especially the beer that comes
Yeah.
from the area or outside of the area. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
So what do you usually drink, like, when you're, at home?
Beer.
Beer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Beer.
What kind of beer you like?
Well, I guess it's not really all the time beer, but Dos Equis,
Okay.
Stella's, and
Yeah.
probably a Coors Light is probably a go-to, but
All right.
every now and then are ciders, actually. I mix them in.
All
Mix
right.
them in. So,
Cool, yeah. I mean, so a lot of these breweries, they have like a light lager that's going to be like, like a Dos Equis or Coors Light.
Yeah.
But there's also breweries that also have seltzers. There's cideries too, like craft ciders. I don't know if you've been to some of those that are across the way
not
over
all
there,
of them,
man.
Yeah. I'm trying to make my way around.
Right on, right on. Have you tried the axe throwing yet?
I have not. But it seems
Is
a
that
lot
something?
of fun.
Have you ever, I've never done axe throwing, but I just like the fact they have a trailer here. You can just
Yeah, you just whip it out.
have some beer and throw an axe.
Yeah. That's awesome though. So you can be found anywhere type thing, I assume.
Spotify, Apple
Spotify.
Podcasts. Those are our two
Cold
main
Brew
spots.
Podcast.
Cold Brew Podcast, yeah.
Nice. Let's
Been
go.
around. We've been around. This is our 8th year,
Yes. let's
and
go.
we every week. So we're like on episode 469 right now. Plus like the special like one-offs when I go to like a brewery and interview a brewer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We talk about beer. We talk about sports. Right now, since football's in season, we talk a lot about football. A lot.
Ooh, let's go Browns today.
Yeah, they're right now they're down 10-7.
Okay.
So-
So I like them both. Honestly, the Texans doing well. I love CJ Stroud, but
Okay.
hey, let's go Browns.
All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Nice
Jeremiah,
meeting you, man.
very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Hey, I don't know where your friends went, but I think they ditched you.
That's all right. I'll find them somewhere.
Right on,
Yeah,
man.
Nice talking to you, man.
Yeah, cheers. What's your name, man?
I'm Joey.
Joey, where you live in the valley?
I live in South Scottsdale by Old Town.
Oh, okay. I see you got the Chicago Cubs right next to Sloan
Yep.
Park right here.
Beautiful, isn't it?
That's a great fucking park, man.
Dude, I have to be biased because I'm a Cubs fan, but
Yeah.
going to Cubs games since I was a kid at
Yeah.
Wrigley, and then watching that get built and then seeing it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I live way out in Surprise. I'm right
Okay.
next to the Surprise.
Rangers and Royals facility.
Yeah. It's okay. It's a little generic, but hey, when I'm a Giants fan,
Okay.
so when my Giants come there, the
Yeah.
tickets are way cheaper than coming out here to Scottsdale.
Oh, dude. Well, the problem is Scottsdale Stadium's tiny.
It
And
is.
trying to park there is a nightmare. Unless
Yeah.
you live by there, it's horrible. But Scottsdale Stadium is beautiful just because it's old, it's nice, it's genuine. It's been around a long time.
Yeah.
I love it at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like Sloan,
Yeah.
and I haven't been to Salt
River.
here. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the Diamondbacks play. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice. You got the mountains in the background. It's newer. It's actually newer than Sloan, but it's still really nice.
Yeah.
I challenge you to go out there.
Yeah, I got to get out there.
Yeah,
but
you do.
I've been here since 2016.
Okay. So that's my senior year of high school. There you go. There you go.
So have you been to the beer festivals before?
This is my first one, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I like the vibe out here.
Yeah, I mean, this one is very laid back, and it's got a lot more options than some of the other beer festivals, which is just like really beer centric and maybe beer adjacent. But I mean, you have like you have this Magical Creations crystal jewelry. It's almost like an arts and wine or crafts festival. I mean. And they have the food trucks and the axe throwing and the roller skating. It's amazing.
Not even just beer out here, though. You got seltzers, you've got hops, you got all the IPAs out here. There's a lot of variety out here. It's
There's
not
even
just
that tequila bar. There's that vodka place right here.
Yeah, there's a lot of varieties out here, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, I dig it, man. This is one of my favorite beer festivals, and this is only its third year, but it's already fastly becoming my favorite.
Oh yeah,
in the
I'm
valley.
sure that you're probably going to need that parking lot over there next year because it's getting so big.
Yeah, what'd you think about the line, man? To get in,
sucked.
Yeah,
sucked. But once you're in here, you're cool. But it's getting in here is the pain in the ass.
Yeah, I remember I went to the bathroom and I saw it like around the block. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. You gotta pee. You're fucked.
But it's a gorgeous day. I mean, they lucked out with the weather.
Yeah, the last couple days it's been really cold, but finally we had a day where it's actually sunny. It's not too bad. It's beautiful out here.
No rain.
Yeah, no shit. No shit.
So yeah, I think last year it wanted to rain last year, like the whole time, and like we were like, oh man, please don't rain. Please don't rain.
And then you got that, and got all the mud and all this. Yeah, no, couldn't do it. Could not fucking do it.
No, but yeah, man, this is great, and it's like leading into spring training. You love spring training time around here, don't you?
Baseball is almost back, man. I'm so ready for it.
Yes, me too. Me too.
So
I can't wait.
fucking ready for it.
So when did you move out here from Chicago?
I moved out here when I was 5. So a long time ago.
You still go back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't been to Wrigley yet. I really have to get out there, man.
Again, being biased, but it's one of the most beautiful ballparks on the planet. That Fenway, it's just the old vibe, just being around it. It's something that I can't describe. You just have to feel it and be there to see it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really upset I didn't get to check out the old Yankee Stadium because I heard that place was badass.
Dude, me too.
Yeah, you talk about the old vibes. Like that's one of them that I should have got to, but it is what it is,
I mean, the new one's okay, but I mean, it's just that old one. Just the fact. I mean, I talked to a lot of New Yorkers, and they're all of them are pissed that they tore it down.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have. They should have kept it going, just like they kept Wrigley and they've kept, Fenway going.
Yeah. So what do you think of the Dodgers, man, on the shenanigans they're pulling?
Hate them. Hate them with my whole heart. I can't wait to watch them go down in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
Just because you got their top 4 guys are good, obviously. Those are the top hitters in baseball. But after that, they don't have anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you can sign Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto, but at the same time, Shohei's not going to pitch this year, and Yamamoto's going to do good in the regular season just because, no one knows him yet.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to be dominating when no one's seen you yet. No one's been in the box against you. Besides Seiya, who's on the Cubs, who's faced him a couple times. But other than that, no one really knows who he is. So, yeah, you're going to be dominating in the beginning, but once guys start figuring you out, especially like in the Diamondbacks division or the National League, good luck.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at Shohei. Not every time Shohei pitches, he's amazing. Yeah, he's got that amazing fastball and he's got that amazing splitter, but once you start throwing the same things and you start really starting to figure it out, you're not really as dominating. You know what I mean? So and they don't have any pitching. They don't have any bullpen. I mean, their starters are meh. So I can see them choking again.
Everyone knows about Kershaw in the fucking playoffs.
Well, yeah, he's horrible.
I don't get it.
Anytime Kershaw pitches in the postseason, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
He's going to suck.
I think he's got, one victory maybe?
Yeah. That's bad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if the Dodgers don't win a World Series within this next 3 to 4 years span, they're going to burn that stadium to the ground.
Chavez Ravine, yeah.
You spend almost over $1 billion, which is more than what a lot of teams in the bigs are worth.
Yeah.
On 2 guys, and you don't win the World Series. I mean, it's like I said, it's going to be bad if LA can't do it.
Yeah, I agree, and I can't wait for them to go down either, man.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun watching that ship, plane, whatever, burn to the ground.
Yeah, wire to wire, and then out in the first round.
Oh yeah, and when they do, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. My girlfriend's probably
all
like,
right, man. Thanks for coming out.